Yeah, and we're looking around for things to do with people and culture, Nigerian culture, African culture to be precise. We have heard from Holy Word a lot of things about how Vikings buried their dead in those days, how the sailors, throw theirs overboard, and even Star Wars has given us an insight to dispatch them into outer space. But what about pre-colonial Africa? Long before the missionaries, long before Islam or Christianity came over to Africa, how were our parents respecting their dead? How was the last rite? What happened? Why is it that most Africans don't know that or don't even practice it? I've taken a walk into town and I've gotten somebody I would like you to meet. And pardon me to do this gruesome shit. There she is, the princess of the pack. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Ram.
Yes. So, how are you? What's your name?
I'm very good. My name is Charity Pam.
Yeah. Charity Pam, you're welcome to DDM.
Thank you.
It's people and culture. And like I said, we want to know something about African culture, the way Africans used to bury their dead. And have you ever witnessed it in any way?
Sure, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 1998, August 1998, when I had to bury my grandfather.
Okay.
Yes, the Mancha
Right.
of here, yeah, Zawan village.
That's just south in Plateau
Just
State,
south in Plateau
Nigeria.
State, Nigeria. Yes.
Yes.
So he was a traditionalist. That was the last traditional burial I witnessed. That was long when I was way too young.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so I happened to be in the picture of everything because I was his favorite grandchild. So I had to, yes, I had to give him a goat.
Like traditionally.
Traditionally, yes, he was buried with a live horse.
All right, we're going to start this from the beginning.
All right.
That
Yes.
is great. Now, live horse, like a. Tell us about it.
Yes, he was a horse warrior. So he had horse. He had horses. He was a chief, and then he was an elder statesman. He was well respected, and then he had passion for horses. So he gave a standing order: if he dies, he should be buried with a horse. So it was kind of like really amazing. He was a real African traditionalist, a traditional man. He doesn't go to church, but he had all the respect he could give anybody else. And then so before he died, he had reserved one horse. He reserved one horse and said, if I die today, I'm going to be buried like this.
And he spelled out exactly.
Yes, exactly how he's going to be buried. He mentioned few others that gave good. Me, I was way too young. My father bought a good for me to present to the dead corpse lying down on the floor in his house. He said he was not going to be taken to the mortuary. A car was not going to take him. They were going to back him. Yes. And then his grave is not the normal 6 inches, 4 corner, grave. It was like a round hole, round hole.
Yeah.
And then they broke his bones to make him flexible. Yes, because he said he was not going to. They were not going to use a car or ambulance to carry him. So he gave a standing order that my father should back him and not walk. They're going to run with him. They will run with him.
Okay, Charity, this is getting interesting. Let's see if we can start from the beginning. When the family discovered he was dead, he was not supposed to be taken to the mortuary as per his orders. So what happened next? How did you preserve him?
Exactly. First of all, my mom suggested that they should because his house had no light. There was no light in his house. So my mom suggested that they should fix and then tap a NEPA light from the neighbor. So the person that went up to go and tap the light fell down. Mysteriously, only God knows what happened. He got shocked from the pole and then he landed on the floor. So they knew that he didn't like it. So my mother now opted again. Okay, fine. Let her go to the nearby market to buy mat and put him there. So when they went and bought the mat. No, funny enough, before then, they went to the stream to get fresh sand that was cold. So they could lay him on it. So they did. So when they laid him on it, he rejected it, and then insects from nowhere started coming out from the sand.
That very sand,
fresh sand from the river.
He rejected
it. Insects from nowhere started coming out.
And you were a witness to this.
I saw everything. And then the third one, that was when my mom now decided, okay, if that's the case, let her buy this local handmade mat.
Yeah.
So they ran to the market and bought it, and that was how they put him there, and then he stayed there. And then he was calm.
So even in death, he had a way of communicating.
Yes, he said it. And he gave standing orders that some people, he didn't want to see them there. He told some people specifically that he didn't want to see them there.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me stop interrupting. So finally, he accepted the mat.
He accepted the mat.
And they laid the corpse there, and it was calm.
Yeah.
So that is like an okay.
That was okay.
Okay. Then what next?
And then that was the day of the burial. Then now the day of the burial. Part of the instructions he gave, they should use that horse he reserved all alone. They should use it and make sacrifice for his burial.
Okay. How many days was he kept on the mat?
3 days.
3 days.
3 days. And he was perfect.
No decomposition.
At all, he was perfect. 3 days, we were all sleeping in the same house. He was perfect. My goodness. Then, then that day of the burial, women were not allowed to enter inside the premises. It was a taboo for women to enter. Okay. Only men. And not all men. That's be family members, traditional rulers, chiefs, and then all that.
And people he has permitted.
Including me and my mom. My mom had to enter because she was his daughter. Okay. And then I was his granddaughter because I needed to be there to present my goat. And which that goat was used to sew an overall. They did everything there and there. Inside that same compound. Yeah. They killed the goat, pull the goat at the skin out of the goat, and they use it to do an overall gown for him. Yes. Like, stitch it with thread and needle. Stitch it with the veins of the cow, of the goat, of the horse rather. Whoa. Yes, but before then, they dress the horse. I can still remember the guy that climbed the horse. His name was Cha Cha Cha. I was way too young, but I still remember because the guy was a very good horse rider. So they dressed the horse, took him out as if they were going on hunting. Yeah. The guy actually left and now told the horse that he forgot this kind of like calabash. They need to put water to drink. Yeah. Yes. In Birom, they call it kanchong. Yeah. Okay. Yes, they call it kanchong in Birom. So they put their drinking water in there. Yeah. So he told the horse that he had forgotten that they need to come back home to pick it up. Okay, wait. Cha 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 now told the horse. He was talking to the horse. Only Cha 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 and the horse that left. Already, people were outside. Yes, waiting. So when he came back, he now tied the horse on a tree. There was a tree in front of the house. Yeah. He tied the horse there and now told the horse that he's coming back. He's going in to go and get that kanchong. Yeah. And the horse was there. The horse was there eating innocently. Eating the grass. And then, before you knew it, the guy came in with a very big stick, mighty big stick, and hit it on the horse. The horse dodged. Whoa. Yes. He came back the second time, and he dodged again. If he had done it a third time and he missed, that means they're not going to kill that horse again. Yes, that is the rule. That's the rule. So, as God will make it, love was on their side, and then the third one, they hit the horse, and that's how the horse went flat. They immediately came and then slaughtered the horse. So that's when they now use the veins of the horse. And then they now use the hoof. Yes. Okay. That's what they use round the grave. Yes. So the blood, they use the blood as part of their sacrifice. They went back inside to do their sacrifice. Wow. Meanwhile, There was one of our elder statesmen there that was there that my grandfather instructed him not to attend his burial.
And he came.
And he came.
He
The
didn't know.
moment he had no choice than to attend. This is a real senior, old elder statesman that is going to be buried. He dare not to come. He had to come. But unfortunately,
there was an instruction that he should not
come. And he came. So the moment they hit the horse the third time, the horse was falling, that man fell down. And that was the end. Yes. They rushed him out that he fainted. Before they reached, news went round that the guy died. And seriously, the guy died.
That was how he died.
That was funny. That is what you mean that traditional burial, when we talk of tradition. He said, don't attend my burial. He came. At the end of the day, what? He died too. Two others who obeyed his instructions, they survived. They didn't come, they survived. But him that came, he lost his life that day. Meanwhile, so when everything was done, the blood, the sacrifice, the meat, they're giving out to people. And then
the meat of the horse.
Yes.
Okay, it was sacrificed.
Shared it to people, to those who are into the tradition and those who don't care whether it's being used for tradition or ritual or whatever. Everybody had. So when everything was done, he sold his overall, he was dressed, and then it was time for him to leave the house. He instructed, specifically said, my father should back him.
And your father is his in-law.
It's his in-law.
But he picked his in-law to back him.
So because my father wasn't too strong enough to back him and run with him all the way from the Hodangong down to the one our village. So what my father did was for him to run with him. From his house to the junction is not too far.
Okay.
So there was a car waiting for him at the junction.
So that at least he could fulfill the right.
Yes, from the house at least he had backed him. Yes. So when they did that, they put it up in this car. My father had a pickup then, so he put it up in the pickup. It wasn't up to like 5 or 10 meters, yes, when the car caught fire. That same car caught fire.
Was anything wrong with the car?
Nothing. Because he told them they shouldn't put him inside that car. He gave an instruction, back me up, back me to the grave.
So let me get you right. Normally for traditional burials like this, the instructions are given, but then the person is not carried in a car and is normally backed like a baby.
Exactly.
Behind somebody that he would pick. And that person would carry him all the way. And that person is not expected to walk.
Not walk, run.
Run throughout. That is a tall order for some.
Yes, for my father at the age then couldn't do it. So he felt, okay, let's make it this way to make it easier for them. And he thought he was doing the right thing. And the car caught fire along the way. Yes.
Whoa.
And then that was when they now noticed that, oh, this man again doesn't want to be tied in a car. So that was when youth started exchanging my grandfather. This one will carry and run for this. This one will carry and run. That's how they now proceeded to take him all the way. They were running all the way to our village in Zawan. Viera to be precise.
So the distance should be about a mile or 2 miles.
Yes.
And the instruction is run.
You run with him.
I pity the person that will carry and walk.
For funny, exactly, but nobody did that. So they knew the tradition. Yes, they were youths. Yes, vibrant youths. They were the ones that were carrying him, running with him.
Well, sorry, this was done in the morning, afternoon,
all through from morning to evening. That was when the whole tradition took place. Yes.
And then the running.
And the run, that was when they were taking finally to the grave. Yes, after all ceremonies of the tradition and all that.
Has been done.
That's been done, yes.
So finally, they got to the grave. One will take, it will start, another will pick up, and they'll be running.
Yes. And then before then, there was this young boy. He grew with my grandfather. So my grandfather told him, he didn't really say anything to him, but then it was like a kind of a tradition that the boy had a pot, clay pot with fire inside,
Yeah.
Yes, with fire inside. So it was this boy, young boy, that held the pot straight to the grave.
From the house.
From the no, when they arrived the grave,
Okay.
that's in Vera.
Okay.
So the boy had it with fire in it.
Who lit the fire? Was there
It should be part of those that conducted
the rites?
the rites.
Okay.
Yes. So as at that point in time,
Yeah.
we were not allowed to see the final
Phase.
because that one is not on our level.
Even though you are allowed to see the
Yes,
corpse,
yes.
to bring your goat.
I had finished my own when I presented my goat because I had to go and talk to him. I practically spoke to my grandfather and said, then I was not too conversant with the Birom language.
Yes.
So I said it in Hausa.
Okay.
I said, Agwaha,
Mhm.
the Akuya Nadi. So all the elders that were there, we started laughing. Because I couldn't say it very well in the room then. Yes.
Yes.
So all the elders there started laughing. And I was like, Audara ga Akuya Di.
Which is
Grandpa, here is the goat.
Here is the
order
goat.
you asked me to give. Yes, so here it is. And I presented the goat to the dead man.
So everybody that's going to make the presentation would have to
Would speak and tell him that this is who you are. This is me.
Yes.
Yes, this is me, and this is what you asked me to do. Here it is.
Wow. So the boy with the fire.
Uh-huh.
How old was the?
The boy should be
then?
around that time, 5 years or 6 years.
5 years.
Yes, he was very young.
Holding a clay pot.
Yes.
With fire in
With
it.
fire in it.
And it didn't burn him.
No. Clay pot. Now, so that was why I told you
Yes.
that they gave it to him there and there.
Okay.
It wasn't that he ran from yes, no.
When they got there.
When they got there. So that was how they did it. But for the people that were there,
Yes.
later on now told me that this was what happened. Like his grave
Yes.
was a round grave, deep inside, and then I had like an inner chamber.
So it's down like a well.
Like a well. And then it now had like a room inside and
Yes.
a chamber inside. Yes. So that
That
was
is how the tradition
that was
was.
how they bury him. And then they now use the hooves of the
goat.
no,
The horse.
The horse.
Okay.
To put it around to put it around the grave. And then the boy with the clay pot went and broke it. After the whole ceremony,
yes.
Went and broke the pot on the grave. And that was it.
My.
Yes, that was it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charity, this is interesting. Now. This happened in the 90s.
Yes, 1998.
1998.
August.
Have you heard of any traditional burial, Birom burial?
Oh.
And this is typically a Birom traditional burial for royalty.
Royalty, yeah.
And one who believes in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. So why is it that it is not sustained?
Well, to me, in my own little understanding, I think a lot of people now have taken Christianity to another level. Yes, they've taken Christianity on another level. And most people who are into even that cha-cha-cha I told you,
yes.
I was told some years back that he died, and no one heard about him. Like seriously. So a lot of people that I know that were into all these two traditional stuff, a lot of them are no longer in existence. Yes, most of them have died, and the young people that are coming up are all into tradition. Are into Christianity. They've abandoned the traditional way. It wasn't a bad thing as such. Yes, I admire that culture. I still admire, and I wish I would experience it again and again.
Yeah.
Because they weren't harmful. They were harmless people who are out to protect lives and property.
Yeah. So, as an elder man, an elder traditionalist within the Birom community in Jos Plateau State, who practiced his tradition right to the very end, was he endowed with some powers when he was alive?
Yeah, I think so. I want to believe because there is no how someone will give order. Don't come for my burial, and you go, and something happens. It's strange. It's strange.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
He said do this, and someone will climb up the pole just to put just to connect light to your house, and then the person falls down. I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah.
strange. And then you get fresh sand from the river, and all
Mm.
of a sudden, insects from where starts coming out.
Pop on. Wow. Okay. Now, with Christianity and probably religion coming in, most people have neglected the culture. And as a traditional worshiper, and you being his favorite daughter,
Granddaughter.
granddaughter rather, one would want to believe, okay, maybe you must have seen some magical things, or he has done something magical while alive. Because if you are practicing the tradition, there must be some kind of benefits that go with it, you know. And mostly you find out that such people are respected by the kings and almost every elder in the community. But why will they respect him? Being that he's a traditionalist, they may be Christians, they may be Muslims. Something has to make him command that way.
I just said it. He is someone that believes in truth. He's someone that is out to fight for the society. He's someone that is out to fight for what is right. If
Mm,
he says yes, he says yes. If it's no, it's no. He will not look at you just because you are Mr. Wrong and
mhm,
he knows you're doing you're the wrong thing,
mhm.
and he backs you up just because he wants favor from you. He will look at you in the eye and tell you what you're doing is wrong and stop it. He doesn't care who you are.
And that he's not a Christian, not a Muslim,
He's not a
yet
Christian.
frank.
He's this typical traditional. In fact, at the point in time, he was named Jacob. But the moment you call him Jacob, he stones you. Oh yes, they gave him name Dara Jacob, a
Yeah.
Christian name.
Hmm.
It's not that he doesn't like the Christian life, but if you look at it, he had more belief, he had more faith than even us who are claiming that we're Christians.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Because he was someone that could move mountains, When you say move, it moves.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
mhm. Yes. So, do you think the traditional way of doing things has affected our lives today in any way, or they are two separate things?
I think they're two separate things right now. We're neither here or we're there.
We're not really practicing the tradition,
Yes, we're
and we're
not
not,
here,
and we're
we're
not
not there.
fully
And we're
Christians.
not fully Christian. So there's a problem.
There is.
Yes. So we've left the traditional way,
Mhm.
and we now claim we're in the Christian way, and yet we are not here, we're not there. We're not even
Mm.
doing the Christianity itself. Well,
Apart from this very discussion we've had with you, have you told anybody this story anywhere?
yes, yeah. Even when my mom was alive,
Mm.
yes, she loved to say the story. And
Mm.
then they had videos of burial, yes. But unfortunately, we can't find any because people kept borrowing and borrowing. End of the day, we can't find it anyway. It got
Mm.
missing like that,
Yeah.
yes. So there were records of it, and I'm happy I tell people this story
Yes.
all the time.
My goodness.
Yes, I'm very happy. And then afterwards, my mom took over from him, but she was more on the Christian side.
Okay, she was a Christian
Yes, she was a
and a
Christian
believer.
and a believer. And then
Yeah.
she actually believed in his own traditional way because she took over his horses. She was a
Okay.
horse warrior too. Yes,
As
I'm
well.
proud to say yes that my late mom
Mm.
was also a horse warrior. She kept horses. At her age, she climbed her horses.
My
At the age
goodness.
of 75, she said even if the last thing she would do before she died, she would climb her horse, and she
Ha,
did.
that is interesting.
Hmm.
All right, guys, you're still on to DDM, Digital Diaspora Media. Diaspora Digital Media. We're here right in the residence of our special guest today, Miss Charity Palm. And she's just giving us a breakdown of how the Biram traditional burial rites was performed. And the last time she remembers was 1998, just close to 2000. Guys in the studio, does anybody have a question for our friend here? Hello, CIA, are you there? She goes there. Kevin.
Yes, an interesting story indeed.
In
Then
fact, you better believe it. You
my
know,
my grandfather
yeah.
is also a traditionalist. Was also a traditionalist before he died, and
Wow.
after he died, after he died, they buried him in. the church way, in a Christian way, because his first son happens to be a pastor, a reverend.
Okay. Ah, this network is funny. So sometimes before Chigoze comes back, when we look at our children, if you don't like what you have discussed with us now, Charity, I don't even know.
Okay.
And do you think that our young
For him.
ones, children, 30 and below, have an idea?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they do. But then, if only our parents, you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If only our parents like took the
Time.
time
Hmm.
to enlighten the younger ones. Like me, I was opportune because I came from a family
Yes.
that had this traditional belief. So you can imagine others they're not opportune. So that means they are totally
Yeah.
out of space.
Yeah.
They are totally out of the Birom culture.
And it's like
Yes,
vanishing.
it's vanishing. It's gradually vanishing. It's no longer in existence. But
Yeah.
I am lucky today
Yeah.
from my grandfather
Yeah.
to my mom. My mom taught me, but unfortunately enough, I'm not too all on the traditional side. But she
Mm-hmm.
tried as much as possible to
To
like
let you
pull
know.
my children along.
So they know at
Yes,
least part of the
they
culture.
know and they know it. So when you see them dressed in the traditional way, they look so marvelous and they're
Mm.
doing it so fantastic. Like, but me, ah, mm,
Wow, Charity, thank you. Thank you
you're
so
welcome.
much
You're
for
welcome.
allowing us,
Mm,
uh, Diaspora Digital Media, to have this conversation with you. And I pray that this will let people know actually how African, specifically the Biram people of Jos, Barkin Ladi, Riom, generally Biram people in Nigeria, used to bury their beloved ones. Sometimes it's according to status, and normally there are instructions given. So, for those of you who used to wonder and see, oh, how do we do this? How do we do this? You want to make a movie. There is a real movie. It's different from what we see on screen when you are able to
yeah.
picture it live.
Mm.
And don't forget, it comes with rules and regulations. Sorry, Chigoze, if you are there. Sorry, it's like you went out. Are
Yes,
you
I'm
back
here.
in now?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
back.
yes, yes, sir. So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a wonderful one. I was trying to tell you guys a story. My
Yeah,
grandfather is also a
yeah.
traditionalist, and he died in 2002. And
Aha.
because his first son is a reverend father, the first
Mhm.
son buried him in the Christian way instead of a traditional way. So, and up
Okay.
to this moment, he still appears in their dreams, telling them they
Oh,
should come and bury him. They should bury him the traditional way. So
that
he
is
appears to
after
two of his
20
sons.
years.
Yes. So he still appears to them. So this year, by on the 8th of January, they are going to do another traditional rite for him. He told them to kill a
Wow.
cow and do call his traditionalists. They should do another burial. So and that it has been fixed on the 8th of January. So I
My
can relate
goodness.
to the story that she had just told us, and I'll say
Wow. Which state is that? Which locality? What custom? What tradition is that when she goes in?
yeah, this is
Yeah.
Imo
Where
State,
in Imo
Nigeria.
particular?
Mm.
From
In
which part of Imo, sir?
Ohaji local government, Ohaji Egbema.
Hey. Whoa. That is it. So you have some rights. I hope you are going to present your own goat during the burial.
Unfortunately, that
All
will be
right.
there.
All right. So I think we're almost coming. Charity, it's so nice of you to have us in your house,
You're welcome.
and it is something that it's very dear to us. I'm sure this is the first time a lot of people have had the encounter. I mean, have had something concerning the way Africans do their burial. From the DDM studios here in Jos, We're glad you had time to stay with us. Africa is rich in diverse ways. Our cultural heritage is meaningful, not necessarily evil. So even if you're a Christian or a Muslim, there is an Africa that gave birth to you, and you have a duty to at least document it, know it, write it somewhere, so that nobody will come and say you never existed, and you will not be extinct. We cannot all be somebody else. We are Nigerians. We are human beings. We are African. From the DDM studios here in Georgetown, Frank Palm Jr. saying, do have a wonderful time. Over to you, Kristen. Chigozie. Bye for now.
All right, thank you very much for joining. Thank you so much. I think we'll be bringing the show to a close now. Thank you.
So, are you going to be a Christian or a traditionalist?
Well, I'll be a Christian anyway. I think
Are you afraid of?
Are you afraid? You don't want them to start haunting
I
you,
don't
right?
want to I don't want to stress my people, my loved ones. Yeah,
Actually, that's
Okay,
difficult. Wait, that's
it can
difficult.
be tough.
Hmm.
All right, so bye for now, guys.